Hello, and welcome back to the Run to Remember podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. This week's episode, we'll talk with Chris Weigl, Christin Vaughn, and Laszlo Tallai from See You on the Run. Learn about how this friendly competition fosters community and support for the Run to Remember. Then hear from Elizabeth Duty and Terri Winblad with the YMCA. We chatted with them to hear about how they're helping to improve senior wellness around the city and how they are preparing our senior marathon participants for race weekend. Finally, hear from Whitney Powell, an Oklahoma runner and mom of 3 who shares her story of finding a passion for running with the Memorial Marathon. The 2026 OKC Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th. Visit okcmarathon.com and sign up to run, walk, or volunteer.
It's April.
It's April, Carrie.
Here we go. We're in the countdown. It's we're within the month, and the most important day of the month is the 19th, in which we focus on remembering and continue to move the community forward. And then later that same week, we kick off the Health and Fitness Expo, and then the races are here. And I'm certain it's going to be perfect weather, sunny but not too hot, and no rain. That's my David Payne forecast.
We should probably
we'll tune into him later, but not this week. We'll wait till we get a little closer.
Yeah. I will take that.
Yeah.
No wind would be great.
But
a little
it's
bit
good.
Cooler than last year would be great.
That'd be great too.
But you're right. You're right. We need to focus first on April 19th and just the remembrance of why we run.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've got good-looking numbers on the race, too.
Okay, so let's just talk about that. The marathon, the 26.2 miles, sold out. We've said all along, we've talked about this for the last eight months of registration that the races would sell out.
And this is a nationwide phenomenon.
Nationwide,
that's going on right
it's
now.
happening.
Races
I've
are
talked
just full.
to my peers in Chicago, Houston, and Dallas. They're all like, okay, we're all selling
Yeah,
it.
runners are back.
Runners are back. Runners need to pay attention to registration. So if you want to run a certain race,
Do not wait.
my recommendation is register today.
Correct.
So you can buy the insurance if you want to opt out, but if you want a spot, that we're not upping the caps, we're not changing the caps, because let me just say this real quick. Those items, medals, finisher shirts, T-shirts, are all ordered months ago. We ordered those before the holidays, and so you can't just add 100 medals from, that you just can't go back on the press for this or that. And we also, that's how we order our hydration. That's how we order. I mean, it is a domino effect across the course.
There's
and
a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
I know you special, very special runner who called me on my cell phone at 9 o'clock at night. I know you're very special, but we can't add everyone who's special. And so we have to do what we have to do. We've started a wait list. And so the wait list is automatic. You go in, put in your information. If there's a spot that comes open, your credit card will be run. You'll be notified. But until then, you're on the wait list. And so people will get in because always runners back out, things happen. How many will get in? I can't predict that. But it's a great problem to have. We're studying it.
Right.
As I said, I've talked to my peers in great cities who have dealt with this for several years. And so, as they said, it's a testament to the race. It's a testament to why we run. And so we're going to have a few growing pains, but we're getting there. We're doing the very best we can.
Yeah.
So thanks for bringing that up. It was a lovely day.
We're going to start off with Chris Weigl, Christin Vaughn, and Laszlo Tallai from See You on the Run. Welcome back, Christin.
Yes.
You brought some friends today. So See You on the Run is a friendly competition among Oklahoma's credit unions, right, that supports the mission of the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Can you just kind of tell us more about this program and how it got started and what makes you all special?
It got started last
I was wondering
year.
how far back we were going to go.
Chris and I used to work together at the same credit union.
Yeah.
And we'd run, and we'd see folks from other credit unions at the marathon relay is mostly what we did back when it was the relay, not the quarter marathon. And Chris went to Tinker a few years ago, so we weren't on the same team anymore. And we just kind of talked about, why don't we get other credit unions to run it together? And at first it was just, what do we do to run together? And then it was like, well, we can make it, a competition that kind of benefits the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum Foundation. And each credit union enters a team of 4 people. We collect a donation on behalf of the foundation from each team, and then based on the finish time, the teams contribute. So it's kind of everybody contributes a set amount, and then you pay an additional $1 every minute you're behind the fastest
Oh,
team.
I love that.
Love that.
Oh,
Brilliant,
that's
isn't
so
it?
fun. Yeah.
And so there are 3 credit unions or more?
Yeah, last year we had 6
Six.
credit unions with 11 teams. This year, I think we'll have 5 credit unions with a similar number of teams.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I can't remember the number of runners that we've had, but last year it was 40.
Yeah, 40 some runners.
Yeah, because we also get people that participate in the 5K.
Right.
Whether it's on the relay
Sure.
team, that we still encourage everyone.
Did you guys
to
beat the governor?
help.
Not last year. He had a
Yeah.
ringer. He had somebody from Oklahoma
Yeah,
State.
he does that.
Too many fast runners.
Texas team.
He's very competitive, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, and we'll hear from the governor in the next week or so. But yeah, so you got your teams ready and you were trained and ready to go?
Yeah, Chris and I are procrastinators a little
We're
bit.
so bad.
We set it up last year, and then this year we knew it was coming, and we still somehow waited until January to get the word out.
Yeah.
But we're going to do better for next
Okay,
year.
well, don't procrastinate on signing up, though.
Right.
We've signed up.
Yeah. Teams are signed up, and actually, I went on there. I was signing up teams late and saw that the full marathon was fully booked up. I was like, dang it! Now I can't run that long.
You were totally
no.
planning on doing that. Yeah.
So you went on down to the quarter and put in your team.
Yes.
And Christian, you represent a credit union that was impacted by the bombing.
Yes.
And so this kind of comes full circle.
Yes, it really does. And so I work at Allegiance Credit Union. Allegiance was formerly Federal Employees Credit Union, the credit union that was in the building that day. And, we lost over half of our staff. And so this run, as I say, and on the back of the shirts are our employees' names that we remember. And so this is just a real testament about the, collaboration of credit unions. And, back in 1995, 22 credit unions came to our help, from across the state and across the nation to help us, get back and running. This was our only branch in this building. And so it was just really cool to see these guys, come to us last year and say, we want to do this competition in honor of your employees. And, we said we'd never forget. And this is just one more way that's living on and truly not forgetting and remembering, the lives that were impacted that day. And
So 31 years later, a new generation runs to remember. I mean, that kind of gives me goosebumps. But it does remind me of how many credit unions did come and help the Federal Employees Credit Union at the time get reopened within, I think, 36 hours or so. I mean, it was incredible,
Yeah.
24 hours maybe. But they reopened very quick because of their friends and neighbors. Even though they were competitors, they stepped up.
Yes.
And that's really kind of how the whole Oklahoma Standard was born. I mean, those kinds of stories, times 10 happened, and the credit unions were a remarkable part of that. And so today you guys run in their honor, and you guys are still working to get business, but on this day, at this time of year, you come together.
Yeah, and credit unions are special just because we are constantly working together. Yes, we are competitors in our field, but we still are very friendly. Like, I'm still friends with all of these individuals here. And then we also put on every fall, we do a concert, See You in the Park, where we come together and put on an event for the community. And so we're just always trying to find ways of actually working together and kind of growing that bond with credit unions in the community.
yeah,
What do you kind of say? Oh, I'm sorry. Christine.
No, I was just going to say, it really does the Oklahoma Standard. It kind of really pulls that together as far as we all show up as, Oklahomans, as people here in this community. And it's more than the competition that comes from, our businesses.
What do you kind of see as you look ahead, to the next couple of years? How do you hope and see this growing?
We hope to get more credit unions involved, and we've had some of our vendor partners reach out and also want to enter teams. So I think next year we'll see some of our business partners step
And do
up.
you all train together?
We do some training runs with our fellow employees at the same credit union. We haven't
Yeah, we
done
haven't
any.
done a full group one. That's a good idea.
That'd be a good one for.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
They'll force us to train earlier
Some
on.
accountability.
Yeah. So we're not hurting
And so
directly
you
after
two are
the
running,
race.
you're running the water stop.
I would say I'll
The
be a captain at a water
hydration
stop.
station.
Yeah,
Oh, Allegiance
hydration
has a great
station.
water stop.
Yeah, incredible water stop.
But I'm very tempted to get back out on the course next year to challenge. We've
here.
got a few we do have a few people who will be running the half and things like that. Allegiance always has people out on
Right.
the course as well. And we had 3 teams enter CU on the run last year. So, but I don't know. I'm like, maybe I need to get out there and see if I can. We've got our CEO and CFO. There's some serious runners, so we could maybe be in
That's awesome.
in the competition.
Well, what an incredible story.
I know, I love
And I
this.
just love that you guys, not every industry's doing this. And I think you guys have set an incredible example of coming together, working together, and remembering, which is, so much about why we run. So
Yeah, I think this is a great idea for other industries to kind of look at
I
this
do too.
model of,
Push
some
each
friendly
other.
competition and push each other and give back to the mission. And because it really brings us back and ties us back to the why we run.
So after the race, you guys settle up and you figure out the number, then you bring the check, which is always fun for us. But it's meaningful because of allegiance and how much was lost, yet how they keep the memory alive of these folks. This is 31 years later. These types of events bring recognition to those people who were doing their job that day. They didn't go to war.
Right.
They went to work. And they didn't get to come home. And so that is why this run's so important. And you guys are keeping it going, and that's what makes it work. So I can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you for putting it on every year. It's it's really moving to be at the start. Since we did the relay for the first few years I ran, I never was at the start for the moment of silence, and that's very moving. And we have so many employees, like Chris said, entering the 5K, entering some of the other distances, and it's employees of all fitness levels. Some of them
And
they've
your
never
credit
run
union
before.
is
I'm from Communication Federal Credit
And-
Union.
Tinker Federal Credit Union.
an allegiance.
Allegiance.
So
Very
incredible.
cool. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Best of luck. I'm really curious to see who wins.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say,
Fastest
Chris,
credit
did you
union.
win last year?
I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah, right
His
now,
legs, but they're
Since
very
you asked.
long.
right now, TFCU is the fastest credit union in Oklahoma.
Oh, my
Oh, why
God.
did I team for that?
You set yourself up for that.
Yes. Good bragging
Thank you
rights.
guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
What a great group.
So fun. I love that.
Yeah, great initiative, and just lucky to have these folks, in town and doing the things they're doing. Hey, it's Good Friday, so
Yes.
for most people it's a religious holiday,
Oh my
but
gosh, I'm so excited.
but it's also Easter egg hunt, and I found these and it just screamed at you. So
This is amazing.
nerd
It
clusters
is
and an Easter egg.
an Easter egg nerd gummy cluster. I'm going to have to hide this from my children.
Yeah, don't give it to them.
No.
This is your own stash.
Honestly, Carrie, this probably isn't going to make it home.
Oh, you don't think?
I'll probably eat it in the car.
I haven't opened it. I don't know how many are in there, but it's we're back to nerd clusters because as we learned last year, that's a quick
quick
fix.
fuel. Yeah.
Quick fuel.
Quick sugar, and it tastes good. Everybody loves candy.
Right. We'll have some at our booth at the expo, but I saw that. I'm like, I gotta take that.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So there you go.
Next up, we have Elizabeth Duty and Terri Winblad from the YMCA. Welcome to the podcast, Elizabeth and Terri. We're glad to have you. So you guys both work at the YMCA as wellness instructors. Tell us a little bit more about what your roles entail.
Yes, so I work with our corporate memberships, which that is managing our relationships with companies who subsidize memberships for their employees, and I'm also the Healthy Living Director for the Downtown District. So that is overseeing programming at 3 of our branches, and through that capacity, I facilitate the Senior Marathon Training Program.
How's that going?
It's going great. We are, year after year, we're always trying to increase numbers, and we've got some good-looking teams.
Great.
And Terri?
So I am an instructor and a coach at the YMCA, and kind of have ended up with, a specialization of working with our senior population through water aerobics, and then was asked to help coach the folks out of the Rankin YMCA to support them to get their miles in and work through to get ready for the marathon, for the senior marathon walk.
And so the senior marathon is one of my favorite additions over the last few years, where seniors walk 25 miles prior to race day and then come on the Saturday
Correct.
of race weekend and finish the last 1.2 miles together. What kind of programs do you offer, and what training do you do to encourage that 25 miles of walking beforehand?
Yeah, so the program in and of itself, we, of course, get the miles in just by setting up groups with wonderful leaders like Terri, but we also just try and remove barriers. If they're registered with that program, we'll also facilitate their packet pickup. And then also, if necessary, help with registrations. And then in some cases provide transportation on that day.
That's good.
Those are great things.
Yeah. And what about the training?
So the training has been such a blessing to me. The walkers are so dedicated. Several that I work with have walked more than once. They look forward to it every year. In February, I began working on kind of counting the miles and the days that we're going to walk. Typically, we've been walking 2.5 miles. Because I'm in the Rankin-Edmond area, we have found a lot of fun finding neat, safe places to walk to get that 2.5 miles in. So we're exploring the city of Edmond and the safe pathways that we have that are there for us to walk on. So everyone I work with has finished and ready for the last 1.2, but we're continuing to walk just to keep their endurance and the community so strong. It's fun.
Great.
What benefits do you see for seniors in staying active?
So it's an interesting population in that they are so dedicated, and they see this as their ability to not just longevity but vitality in the last third of their life. And the benefits are cardiovascular health, fall risk reduction, and just that balance and that muscle toning. And again, I think community is huge for that population to be out and with people that are like-minded, that have goals, and just the reduction of exercise that we know is linked, or exercise is linked to the reduction of anxiety and depression that in that population tends to kind of happen as we get older and more isolated.
So motion really is lotion. I mean, it really
Yes,
is getting up,
absolutely.
getting moving. It's good for the head and the heart and everywhere else.
It certainly is, yeah.
And
So-
also you managed, or you mentioned just the community aspect of it and emphasizing that because loneliness, especially in our senior population, can be one of the primary health crises. And so just the accountability with the group, I mean, they all call each other. I'm in a couple group messages with our training groups, and they are on it.
So what roles, like this, the senior citizens and the Ys, I mean, they play important. Why are those so important for seniors together?
I mean, really just the why people think fitness, but it is the community, just that driving factor. It is for all.
Kind of a double blessing.
Yeah, that's the very end of our mission statement is for all, and just seeing all likes of people and gathering them together, because being that third space, that's where you get the real diversity and different experiences, and people get to share that with each other.
You know what's interesting, Carrie? We've talked to people this whole season of the podcast where people have talked about the community, people running the 5K, the half, the full, just the importance of the accountability in the community seems to be an underlying theme, regardless of age, race, of which race you're running or.
And I think sometimes the crazier the world seems, the more important your community, your niche is to you, because it is your safe haven.
Sure.
And then talking about safety, as you train for this, you got to keep everyone safe. How do you guys go about that?
Yeah, so I in particular look for very safe places to walk, paved, pedestrian-friendly trails in the areas that we walk. I talk to my group about proper attire, shoes, hydration. I always make sure they have water. Recovery is part of training, and in this population, you really have to honor and listen to what your body's telling you. And so we work on recovery is an important part of training. So
you have 90-degree days and 50-degree days, sometimes back to back.
Yeah.
You've got to work that in as well, right?
Yes, today, and I tell them all the time we can't pick what the weather's going to be like on race day.
We'd love to.
We'd
Yes.
love to.
And
I wish that was an offer.
I like your prediction because I actually have my daughter's weddings that weekend.
gosh.
I want that prediction of nice weather. But yeah, and so like for instance, today, this afternoon, we'll be walking, and it's going to be warm and windy, and we're going to be there walking. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
And as we wrap up, I think one of the most important things about this particular race is that so many of these seniors were so involved in what happened on April 19th, 1995, and this is just a way to continue to allow them to
give back. Yeah.
and to have a part in this Run to Remember story.
What does it mean to them or to you guys as you cross, when you start the start line with the 168-second silence, you go the 1.2 miles, you cross that finish line? What do they say about that?
So I actually did a little poll in one of my classes yesterday about what this weekend means and this marathon means, and it was the stories that popped up were pretty remarkable. I think what for them it's resilience, and these are folks that have lived some life.
Yeah.
And they've seen hard times and they've made it through, and so I think it's that resilience and that sense of purpose that they know, that they're still capable when they finish that, when they walk that last mile and mile point two, they can tell themselves, I'm still capable at 75.
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
That's great.
Well,
thank you ladies so
Yeah.
much.
thank you.
Thanks for what you do.
Yes, thank you.
Wow.
I know. I love the
It's
senior
good.
marathon.
It-
It's fun,
yeah, it's
and
good.
it's a really fun finish line.
Yeah, and it's great to see
watch.
the young generation keep the memory alive, and those who lived it, relive it and keep going. That's very powerful.
Yeah. Before you meet our final guest, here's a quick message from Homeland, our race participant food and nutrition sponsor. When our participants cross that finish line, Homeland is there with nutritious food to help them refuel, recover, and celebrate their accomplishments.
At HAC Inc. and at Homeland, our purpose goes far beyond groceries. Sponsoring the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon is deeply important to us because it reflects the values we live every day: resilience, community, and showing up for one another. As an employee-owned company rooted right here in Oklahoma, we're honored to support an event that brings our communities together, honors those that we've lost, and reminds us of the strength we share when we move forward together.
Our final guest is Whitney Powell. Whitney, welcome. We're so glad you're here today.
Thank you.
So you grew up in Lawton,
I did, yes. I born and raised in Lawton, Oklahoma.
and you
Great
remember
place.
the events of 1995.
I do. I was pretty young. I was only 7 years old when it happened. So I'm obviously remembering it from like the vantage point of a child. It was a very scary time, honestly, just seeing what had happened, not knowing where it would happen next. That sort of thing didn't happen in Oklahoma.
Right.
And so for that to happen here just made us feel very vulnerable. So that's kind of how I remember it. It wasn't until I got a little bit older that I started realizing some of those other things from it, the more positive things and everything that came from it.
In your words, what does the mission of the memorial mean? You're now a mom of 3. You teach this story to them, and by running, you teach it to others. What does it mean?
Yeah, I think it really is just being able to remembering the people behind this situation, not just the violence behind it, which that's important to remember too, but remembering the people behind it, the people we lost, the people who stepped up and helped from all different parts of the state and honestly probably the country.
Yes,
But
the
the state
heroes.
really just came together. It just kind of shows what Oklahoma is, and it's kind of framed how I view Oklahoma too. Like I feel very fond about my home state, and so it just makes you proud to see kind of how the state all came together to support just everyone at that time.
And then how did you get into running, and when did that start?
I started running a little bit in my 20s, just a couple miles here and there, struggled, and it was always a goal to run the Oklahoma City Half Marathon. I don't know why that was my goal, but it seemed so out of reach at the time. Life happened, kids happened. I never really got a chance to do it before then. And so, a couple years ago, I kind of got my health back and I decided now's the time, signed up for the half, and then did the half last year for my first half marathon.
And
Wow.
how did that feel when you crossed the finish line?
It was a pretty emotional thing. Honestly, the starting line for me, I think, is even a little bit more emotional than the
People
finish
say that,
line.
yeah.
You just did all that work to get there. And at the start line, I was just checking my stats on my Garmin, on my Strava. I don't know what it was. And I remember seeing that I somehow managed to do exactly 168 miles in my training.
Oh, wow.
I didn't plan for it.
No God wink.
Yeah, I didn't plan for it, but that is what I ended up doing in terms of mileage. And so, that moment of silence, all of that, it really just helped me think about all of the people we lost that day. And then, of course, the finish line, you have the photos
Right.
of all of those people, too, which is just a lot to take in after you've exhausted yourself and done all of that run. But that's who we run for, so
Just a good little gentle reminder.
absolutely.
And you're running a half again this year.
I am.
What do you look forward to this year?
For me, it's really just getting back out there and proving to myself that I still can. So, I had a couple setbacks this year, and I really just want to get back out there and do it. And I'm going to be slow. I'm not going to be fast. But
You're
it's
still
really
gonna run the
it's
same
focusing on getting it
13.1
done.
miles. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Focusing on finishing this year.
So those setbacks, what do those teach you?
You just never really know what's coming next, so take advantage of the time you have and do the things. I committed last year to stepping out of my comfort zone and doing hard things, and I'm glad that I did because I ended the year with some pretty hard things that I needed to handle and do, but I knew that I could do them because I had kind of taught myself to just push through those hard things and just carry on. Somebody else mentioned resilience. I mean, it is, Oklahomans were resilient. So
Yeah.
It's so much a part of the story, though, of just the training, pushing through, going through the hard stuff is a life lesson. I mean,
Absolutely.
And it is the life lesson the city has lived over the last 31 years of the slow rebuilding, pushing forward. It's very symbolic of the race and of the training you're going through.
Definitely. It's not always easy. It's always worth it, but it's not always easy. And you just have to keep showing up and doing that every day.
Yeah,
And so your mom, how many kiddos?
I have 3.
3. So how do you balance your training with that and just coming back from some setbacks? How do you find the time?
A lot of planning goes into that, obviously. I also have a wonderful support system. So, my kids, my husband, they're all there supporting me on race day, for my long runs, all of that to make it happen. Sometimes it's an early morning on the treadmill before I go to work. Sometimes it's a late night before I go to bed after I've put the kids to bed. And so it's just really a lot of planning and a lot of support from my support system.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, we're excited about seeing you at the start line and the finish line. And what's the message you would give to someone stepping up to do it for the first time?
Really just keep showing up. Like, if you want to do it, if it's something you've been thinking about, sign up. I saw a post the other day, and it was just somebody talking about training and doing all of these things. Literally, the only difference between can and can't is a little training in my mind. So if you're at that point that you want to do it and you just sign up, give yourself enough time, sign up and commit to a training plan and stick with it and just show up on the good days and the bad days. They can sometimes be a little tough, a little gritty, as some people say, but you just keep showing up.
So we're within that first month, so step up to the 5K or the quarter. The half's probably pushing it, but you could get there. But for sure you can do the 5K or the quarter.
Absolutely.
Even within the month.
Absolutely, and you still get to experience, you still get to support this cause, and you get to just be part of that environment, and it's, I don't know, the 5K might be somebody's leading off point.
Absolutely.
5K this year, and then next year they're hooked, and next year they're doing
We've
the
met
half.
those people before, and we say this all the time. The 5K is no joke. I mean, it's you got some hills, you got some.
Definitely.
You've got a little bit of everything on that course, but if you're just trying to get off the couch, the 5K or the quarter are a great place to jump in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for your encouragement and your
Yes.
attitude, and what lucky kids to have a mom setting such a great example.
Oh, yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure. For sure.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.
We got some good people in Oklahoma.
We do. And I just love that, we just kind of hear, they all have the same underlying theme.
I know
you
it.
come back to the same things.
Yep.
And it's just good reminders as we are in this month of April.
Yeah, great people today.
Yep, to run to remember.
Yep.
That's a wrap for this week's episode. Let us know your feedback. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss one. The Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th. And if you haven't already, sign up today at okcmarathon.com. This is your host, Christin Fairs. Let's marathon.